According to the
They look
1788-1
creepy.
anatomy report, it is extremely difficult to distinguish a clothed 1788-1 from a normal adult human.
Normal? You mean obese? Like, let's not, like... I'm sorry, but we gotta call it how it is. Obese, bruh. This ain't normal. This ain't a normal size. Like, this ain't the normal weight for a human being. I might be nitpicking, but, bruh.
Later, in the void.
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Savvy, and welcome back to The Savvy Show. And in today's episode, it looks like a normal, but at the same time, really unique SCP. And this is called SCP-1788, the adults. And this is from TheRubber. Yes, I know, I don't really cover TheRubber as much on the channel. However, this one piqued my interest on his channel, so we're going to dive deep. And I never heard of this one, so it literally looks like just obese humanoid creatures, or literally humans that are just obese, and I'm assuming they're cannibals. They eat other humans, and that's why they're fat. Who knows? But we'll find out today. So with that being said, if you guys are excited for this reaction, please remember to smash that like button, smash the sub button, and hit that bell so you can stay plugged for each and every upload. So without any further ado, let's get this show started. Alrighty, SCP-1788, the adults. Let's go.
Viewer discretion is advised. 863 suddenly becomes violent and attempts to break his restraints. Director Mandeville activates the shock collar. You! I'll kill you! You're the pervert! Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today, we bring you SCP Foundation Keter Class
Pervert?
Object SCP-1788.
What the heck? Let's see.
SCP-1788, also known as the Adults, is a process,
He looks hella
treatment,
fruity.
or other means of biological transformation. A prepubescent human being subjected to 1788 will become an instance of SCP-1788-1. On reaching adulthood,
What?
178
Just by touching him? It seems like. What?
-1s will display a predatory behavior towards prepubescent humans. Typically, they will settle in a large urban center. There, they will take on a form of white-collar employment and begin tracking prepubescents in the area. However, they will usually not seek employment in a job where they would work directly with children. Presumably, this is to limit suspicion.
Oh my god, they look
Approximately
weird.
once every 6 months, a 1788-1 instance will attempt to abduct one of the subjects that it has been tracking. Once captured, it takes them to a remote or otherwise unobserved location,
Bruh.
where it is subjected to the 1788 process and turned into an instance of 1788-1.
Oh my god.
Little information has been gathered from captured instances of 1788-1. These 1788-1 instances are of above average intelligence and show extremely strong resistance to compulsion.
They're really above average. It seems like that's like a common trait with all these SCPs. They usually have above average intelligence, and some of them just doesn't really show it. I'm just being honest. Maybe it's just the animations, but I don't know. They don't seem above average.
Coercion, torture, and other forms of information extraction. More detailed observations are difficult to make, as instances refuse to take standardized exams.
Like, why are you eating it though?
In addition, they become aggressive and uncooperative when forced to answer questions, demonstrating an unwillingness or inability to comply with tests.
Jesus, what is wrong with you?
To date, every instance has also shown signs of malignant narcissism and psychopathy. They generally demonstrate a complete lack of empathy, while also showing keen psychological insight. For these reasons, among others, unauthorized contact with 1788-1 instances is strictly forbidden. Individual instances generally do not voluntarily gather or interact with one another, except for the purposes of mating.
Wow.
In fact, when 2 or more instances are placed in the same environment, they typically fight for dominance.
Dang.
This behavior is not gender-linked, in that females and males will fight one another in addition to their own genders. In a mixed gender group, there will be only one dominant individual, who may be male or female.
The alpha.
Captured instances are housed separately to minimize damage. Multiple instances have been seen in the same general urban area, but never in a ratio greater than 1 to 100,000 normal humans. Their gestation period is approximately 40 weeks, which is roughly the same as humans. Their offspring are genetically indistinguishable from normal humans and are not considered anomalous.
Okay.
However, as they are prime candidates for undergoing the SCP-1788 process, their capture or termination is to be considered high priority.
Okay, so it seems like, oh, let me take off the subtitles real quick. I don't know why those are on, but it seems like it's weird. They have no anomalous powers besides, like, you know, their personality traits, and like they fight for dominance, and they're obviously obese. I would figure that will go down the line if you give birth to, you know, like two people that are this SCP. Wouldn't they give birth to another one, but they will just show up as a human? That's strange. But either way, we'll keep it going.
Second only to the termination of 1788-1 instances. According to the 1788-1 anatomy report, it is extremely difficult to distinguish a clothed 1788-1 from a normal adult human.
Normal? You mean obese? Like, let's not, like... I'm sorry, but we gotta call it how it is. Obese, bruh. This ain't normal. This ain't a normal size. Like, this ain't the normal weight for a human being. I might be nitpicking, but, bruh. I'm sure if you actually get a real normal person, you could tell the difference, man.
Individuals show variation as expected from gender and ethnicity, but share certain characteristics in common.
Yeah, they're all fat.
1788-1 individuals appear to be obese, within the range of 150 to 200 kilograms when fully grown.
Jesus.
1788-1 instances have larger than average eyes,
Bro, that's
though
creepy,
not enough
bro.
to appear abnormal on casual inspection. Their sweat contains high levels of potassium and copper, though still within the normal range for an adult human. While they seem normal on the outside, their internal anatomy has been altered extensively. 1788-1 instances, long bones and cranium have been reinforced with several heavy metals.
Oh my god, look how big that skull is compared to the whole head tissue and like muscles of it. Like, there's like nothing. It's like all skull.
And their muscle fibers have been interwoven with structures resembling carbon nanotubes. This gives them increased durability, strength, and speed that measures well above the human baseline.
Speed? I gotta see that speed, bro. With that much weight you're pushing, I gotta see it, bro. Oh my goodness.
1788-1 instances possess backup organs and systems for most of their body's vital processes.
Oh my god.
For example, they have a secondary heart, which is located lower in the torso. This heart can work in tandem with the primary heart to more efficiently circulate blood. Additionally, it can also function independently as necessary. Certain blood vessels have complex valve structures, allowing instances to close off blood flow to damaged limbs and other areas to prevent excessive blood loss.
Wow, so that's like pseudo knockoff version of regeneration, basically.
Other organ systems also have 2 or 3 redundant backups that can take over in the event of failure within a primary organ. 1788-1 instances also possess a secondary brain located in the upper torso and protected by its own skeletal structure similar in construction to the rib cage.
That is cool.
Currently,
that is really cool.
The exact function of this brain is unknown, but it is known that this brain can continue to function even in the event of the destruction of the primary brain. This phenomenon was demonstrated in an incident where a team of agents were able to lure a 1788-1 instance into the range of a sniper who was able to destroy most of the instance's head, including the entirety of the main brain.
Ooh.
However, the instance still displayed full mobility and partial lethality, disabling 2 agents, 1 fatally, at close range. It is unknown how the instance was still able to sense the agents with most of its primary sense organs destroyed.
Bro, like, I'm just thinking about how scary that would be. Compared to all the scary SCPs I've seen that, like, obviously, like, looking at it, it'll be like, oh my god, it's a monster. But, like, seeing something like that, running that fast, looking that normal with big eyes and everything, like, yo, I feel like that's up there for me for, like, something that I will be, like, freaked out about. Like, seeing in the middle of the night, some fat ass running full blitzing. Like, yo, that's just crazy. But let's keep it pushing.
Research is ongoing. The final difference in gross anatomy is the appearance of a second pair of arms, located directly below the main pair.
What? Really?
These have apparently equal strength and dexterity to the upper pair.
Okay, Doc Ock.
And 1788-1 instances are apparently capable of using all 4 arms simultaneously.
Wow.
When not actively hunting, instances hold the lower pair folded closely to their sides, where they are largely concealed by natural bulk.
Oh, wow. So they're not as fat as they give off, like their appearance give off. because his arm's under their belly right there. Yo, but they're still fat though, don't get me wrong. But sheesh.
When hidden in this manner, it is virtually impossible to distinguish a clothed instance of 1788-1 from a normal, obese human, with the only exception being upon close inspection. Below is an interview log between Site Director Mandeville and SCP-1788-1-863. The 863 was restrained and fitted with an electroshock collar for this interview. Please state your name for the record. I don't need a name. Names are for children. The driver's license and other materials on your person identify you as... Is that your name? That's my childhood name. I don't need it now. Then I'll refer to you as 863.
Okay.
Call me what you like. Just don't call me late for supper.
Oh
you were found by our agents outside an elementary school, and documents in your car and apartment include multiple photographs of the victim, taken without their knowledge. 863 suddenly becomes violent and attempts to break his restraints. You, I'll kill you. You're the pervert, you. If you're not 863, then why are you observing human?
Yeah.
863 stops, attempting to break restraints.
Gotcha.
You think they're the victim. I can't believe we came from you. Explain what you mean by that, 863. 863 does not speak. Director Mandeville activates the shock collar. 863 does not visibly react. That's what I mean. You think you can hurt me with that? You're a failure, Doctor. You don't even know what you are. Would you care to elaborate, 863? You wonder why your scientists haven't found any anomalous implants in our bodies, why we have no surgical scars, why our genes are pure, unmodified human genes. Because we are human, Doctor. Your x-rays don't look very human. We don't look like you. We're not failures. We're not children.
So he's trying to say that he evolved and humans, regular adults, are children and they themselves are adults, which is their name itself.
You regard us as children? You still look like children. You aren't finished. What do you... You're stunted. Incomplete.
Oh, so he's trying to
You're
save
like
everyone.
the amphibian that grows up to breathe water instead of air. The eggs I watched, they must hatch into us. They need to be finished. So you abduct them to complete their metamorphosis? We don't need companionship. We don't live like you, in herds. Each one of us knows what we need to do, and each of us is capable of it. And what do you want us to do? Grow up or die? Containment of SCP-1788 is currently impossible, but the Foundation currently has 7 instances of 1788-1 imprisoned in Armed Biological Area 223.
That's contradicting. You just said it's impossible, but you have some of them imprisoned? Let me hear that again. Rubber, are you on something?
Containment of SCP-1788 is currently impossible, but the Foundation currently has 7 instances of 1788-1 imprisoned in Armed Biological Area 2.
That makes no sense. So it is possible. You just said it's impossible, but you just said you have 7 of them in containment. Well, make this make sense, Rubber. Like, what are you talking about?
223. Contact with these instances is strictly forbidden outside of approved
He
experiments.
looks contained.
Each instance is to be housed in a separate humanoid containment cell. Any suspected instances of 1788-1 are to be reported immediately to Armed Biological Area 223 Command. Personnel are not to engage suspected instances and should retreat immediately upon an encounter.
How though?
Remember to check out my new animation channel, TheRubber Talk.
Okay, so that was a cool, interesting SCP. The animation was pretty dope as well too. The only confusing part is like some points where he was like saying they're impossible to contain, which, you know, he showed examples of them being contained. And even if they were impossible, why they would be impossible? Because I mean, yes, they're strong and they have certain abilities, but like, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that the SCP Foundation cannot contain them. So I'm surprised it was a Keter class. I'm just being straight up. Maybe they're assuming that you cannot contain every single instance of SCP-1788. Maybe that would make sense. But that's not what I gathered. But with that being said, let me know what you guys thought about this SCP in the comment section below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this reaction. Hit that bell so you can stay plugged for each and every upload. And unfortunately, that concludes today's episode. However, I'll catch you guys on the next one.